we've had the two captains meeting in the centre circle, Matt Sadler of Shrewsbury Town and Conor Cody of Wolverhampton Wanderers, and Roger East, the man in charge. He's taken charge of quite a few Premier League matches this season, just doing his final checks before we will get underway. The teams are not going to change ends, so Town will be playing towards the travelling Wolves supporters in this first half at the DM recruitment stand end of the Montgomery Waters Meadow, and Anthony Grant stood in the centre circle about to get this FA Cup fourth round tie underway. It's a special day. Can Shrewsbury Town be giant killers? Once again, follow the action, as always, here on BBC Radio Shropshire. Roger East just doing his final checks, and we are underway. Grant plays it back to Sadler, and Town go in search of a notable FA Cup upset here. Shrewsbury in blue and amber, Wolves in their away kit, all white today. The men from Molineux, who beat Leicester City 4-3 last week to climb to 8th spot in the top flight. Nevis sent it forward, Town clear, but now Wolves with Morgan Gibbs wide, goes short to Giles, the Telford boy, and Town win it with Okenabiri, and he plays it against Saiss, the Moroccan international defender, one of three central defenders deployed by the Wolves manager Nuno Espirito Santo, and Town on the move down the right. Wolves clear up towards halfway. Beckles wins a header. Here's Nevis, such a good player, Portuguese international, into the feet of Traore, back to Nevis, quick feet to anticipate the challenge of Okenabiri and keep the ball moving wide. Docherty meantime has stayed down. He's not moving at all well here early on in the first minute, so that's something to keep a close eye on. Such a big player for Town, Docherty. And Town win the ball back on the far side. It's with Okenabiri to Grant, and now Haynes comes forward. 0-0, opening stages here. Grant on the ball, uses Loren, tries to play it through to Okenabiri, and Wolves clear. And they knock it towards halfway. Town win it in the air. That's a foul. Town free kick, foul on Norburn. And Norburn keen to get on with it. So 90 seconds on the clock. Good atmosphere. Hope that's coming over to you, wherever you might be joining us for our coverage on BBC Shropshire. And Town have a chance to get a free kick into the Wolves box here, not kick long.
Yeah, they're playing the same system that they've been using in recent weeks, that 3-4-2-1, 3-4-3, whatever you want to call it, with Docherty and Loren just off Okenabiri, so playing a little bit more narrow in those two in behind.
Ball knocked forward, Wolves deal with that one, and they hammer it downfield. Sadler is last man back by the goalkeeper, and sensibly Sadler just nods it back to Steve Arnold. Seems quite a while ago since he saved that late penalty against Scunthorpe here in the second round of the FA Cup, as Town won that tie by a goal to nil. It was an important moment in this cup run. This is game number 6, by the way, including replays, and Town have played in the FA Cup so far this season. Wolves have played just once, that 2-1 win under the Molineux lights against Liverpool a few weeks ago. Here's Traore, just inside the Town half, holds the ball up, goes back into his own half, and he's quick and he's skillful. And the former Barcelona and Middlesbrough player tries to play it out to his left-hand side. It's overhit. Didn't give Giles any sort of chance, and Town will have a throw in the right-back position, which Bolton will take.
Yeah, he's so quick and so powerful, isn't he, Traore? Sometimes he needs to be to chase his first touch, which can be a bit like a trampoline. But he's got so much talent, so much ability, and he's like a bull when he gets going. And Sadler, Beckles, Waterfall are going to have to be really on their game and watch the space in behind when the ball goes over the top or through for him and Costa to chase.
Wolves play the ball across the edge of their penalty area. Bennett, former Norwich player, swapping passes with Doherty. Wolves then go back to the edge of their own box once again. Cody to Saiss, ball over halfway to Morgan Gibbs wide, former pupil of the Thomas Telford School here in Shropshire. Very talented young player. And Wolves coming forward down the right-hand side. That's a good ball. They've got Doherty well forward here. He's into the box. This is danger. Shot comes in. It's over the bar. He thinks there might have been a touch on route. He wants to corner the Wolves player, but Roger East disagrees, and that will be a goal kick.
Yeah, I think Ryan Haynes has just had a bit of an introduction to what it's like to face a Premier League wing-back or winger, because he's torn to shreds down that left-hand side. He's got the pace. We know he's got the ability to be an effective defender back there, but he's just got to concentrate, not get himself caught square, because they will run past him, and once they've gone, even with his pace, he's not going to get them back.
Town look to get Okanabiri involved here down the right-hand side. Saiz will let that one just run behind, and that will be a goal kick to Wolves. If you're just joining us, this is the team news on BBC Shropshire. FA Cup, 4th round. Town with Steve Arnold in goal. Central defenders, Omar Beckles, Luke Waterfall and Matt Sadler. And then James Bolton and Brian Haynes out wide. The holding midfielders, Anthony Grant and Ollie Norburn. In front of them, Greg Docherty and Josh Loren, and Fajiri Okanabiri, the centre forward. Doherty on the ball right-hand side, and he wins a corner. Drills the ball in, it hits Saiz, Town corner.
Well, set pieces are going to be vital, aren't they? As any lower league team against a Premier League side knows, they're an equaliser. Get good delivery into the box. Town have got 3 central defenders in there to go and attack this. They've got Bolton as well, who's not short, and Okanabiri can go and try and pick up the scraps as well, but the ball has to be good.
Well, Ryan Haynes will take this corner. It's in front of the away end. Haynes whips the ball in, and it's headed wide of the near post by Sadler.
Chance.
Yeah, half a chance, wasn't it?
It was a good ball in, and Sadler arrived. It was just in front of the near post, and instead of trying to turn it around the corner, he just tried to plant the header in at the near post and couldn't quite get his angles right. That was a decent opportunity there, and again, it just highlights exactly what I was saying. Set pieces take away the higher division advantage, don't they? Because you're all just going for the same ball in the air.
Give you the Wolves team in a moment. Haynes looks long for Okanabiri, and Okanabiri now breaks into the box. Wolves have got a covered defender there. Okanabiri gets after it. Saiz gives it to the keeper, Ruddy, and Wolves play total football inside their penalty area there. Neves involved, and Wolves play their way out of a potentially tricky position there, very, very coolly. Then Sadler goes in for the challenge. On Traore, free kick goes away. Wolves 5 yards inside their own half.
I don't mind that, actually, because Town almost got them in the penalty area. Wolves showing that they want to play football out from the back, playing themselves away, and the away fans were cheering and almost sarcastically so, and then Sadler just went through the back of Traore almost. I'm not having this, you're not doing this on my pitch, and that just redresses the balance a little bit.
Beckles back to Steve Arnold, and Arnold clears first time. Sam Ricketts, the Shrewsbury Town manager, gets a touch to the ball in the technical area, and it will be a Wolves throw to be taken here by the former Telford United loanee Ryan Giles. What a journey from being on loan at Telford last season in the National North, and here he is playing in the Wolves first team in the 4th round of the FA Cup and on his 19th birthday. Terrific story. Grant for the Town goes short to Bolton. Doherty tries to give it back to Bolton, but the ball had gone out of play, says the linesman on this near side, and it will be a Wolves throw, which Giles takes back to Saiz. Square ball to Cody, former Huddersfield player, and now Bennett moves over halfway. Is he caught by Loren? Yes, he is, says the man in charge, Roger East, and that will be a Wolves free kick on halfway.
Yeah, he played a few games for Wolves in pre-season at wing-back, Ryan Giles, and I've always thought if I was Shrewsbury Town manager, I'd be ringing them regularly trying to get him on loan. When he played for Telford in the National North, not since, in fact it might even have been a more extreme example than Ryan Woods in League 2. It's rare I've seen a player so much better than the level they're playing at.
Loren for Shrewsbury Town, running at the Wolves defence, tries to give it to Grant, ball's clear, but Town come again with Okanabiri, 40 yards from goal, left hand side into Norburn, forward to Loren, can't quite find him, but there's Grant dispossessing Gibbs White, and the loose ball runs away in the end. Kindly for John Ruddy. So the Wolves team today, John Ruddy in goal. 6 changes in fact for the team which beat Leicester 4-3 in Molineux a week ago. So Ruddy is one of them, he's in goal. The back 3, Ryan Bennett, Conor Cody the captain, and Romain Saiz. And then in midfield, Matt Doherty, Ruben Neves, Leander Dendoncker and Brian Giles. And then Morgan Gibbs White playing just behind Adama Traore and Helder Costa, the Portuguese international. But Town acquitting themselves well here in these opening 9 minutes. No score on BBC Shropshire. Shrewsbury versus Wolves, and it will be a goal kick to the team currently 8th in the Premier League.
This is very decent from Shrewsbury Town. Really good start there. Not letting Wolves settle. They're getting after them. What this formation allows you to do is keep men behind the ball, but it also lets you send at least 3 to go and press and harass and harry Wolves defenders when they're on the ball, and they've done that really well. And Luke Waterfall's won a couple of good headers as well when Wolves have tried to go long over the top of the press.
Here's Neves for Wolves, short ball to Bennett, knocks it over halfway, well anticipated by Sadler, down to the feet of Norburn, who turns and finds Beckles midway inside his own half, central position. Beckles, who played in those games with West Ham last season, home and away. His ball forward, though, is overhit, and he goes harmlessly out of play, and that will be a goal kick. Beckles, Bolton and Sadler, the 3 survivors for the Town team, which took West Ham to a replay in the 3rd round of the FA Cup last season. They were lucky not to take it at penalties, weren't they? They
should have beaten them twice.
Yep.
You could say definitely should have beaten them here, and then Stephen Payne at the London Stadium. What a chance that was.
Good header, won by Waterfall on halfway. Loren helps it forward to Okenabiri, who's been lively early on. Haynes now on the left-hand side. As the rain starts to fall a bit heavier here at the Meadow. Haynes runs into Doherty, the Irish international. 5 caps now for his country. Very good player. Scored a few goals as well from right wing back in the Premier League this season. Throw-in taken by Haynes. And now Okenabiri finds Docherty, and he's dispossessed by Gibbs-White, who comes forward down the left-hand side, and he uses Giles. The 2 Wolves players with Shropshire connections, swap passes. Ball work square by Gibbs-White. Nevis now, such a good passer of the football. And this time he gets it wrong. Tried the diagonal. It's a bit too close to Steve Arnold, who comes out and picks up.
Yeah, but it's a good sign that they're having to just go over the top and hit them long, because Town are so good in their shape, so difficult to play through. The wind's an issue as well for Wolves. John Ruddy has tried to take a few goal kicks that have just held up in the wind and the rain that's blowing from left to right in his face. So Town have got that advantage first half.
Arnold upfield to Okenabiri, does well. The rain on the edge of the box. Good strength from Bennett. Doherty plays it back to Ruddy. Very cool head again from the goalkeeper, just to pick his pass, gives it back to Doherty. But now Wolves give the ball away. Inside their own half, here's Norburn, driving forward, no way through. Wolves clear with Den Dobke, the Belgian international. And now the very quick Traore uses Helder Costa into the penalty area. Good challenge from Waterfall. Costa goes down. And who's got the final touch here? It's come off Costa. And it will be a goal kick, and well done, Luke Waterfall.
Yeah, terrific defending from Luke Waterfall. Slid in inside the penalty area, needed to time it right. He was stretching. It was the last possible moment that he could have gone in. Did, and managed to play it back off the Wolves man and out for a goal kick. But the first time that Wolves have got Town turned there, that's a warning of the big danger that Wolves possess.
In the FA Cup, Swansea 1, Gillingham 0. Ollie McBurney for Swansea. Derby were 1-0 winners at Accrington in the early kick-off in this competition. And of course, Manchester United knocked out Arsenal last night at the Emirates by 3-1. So you could say it's quite right. Town have stayed in the FA Cup longer this season than Arsenal, and of course Liverpool.
And Liverpool, yeah.
And they'll be hoping to stay in the competition for a good while longer yet. It's 0-0. Norburn tries a cross-field switch, doesn't come off. Well taken down by Doherty. Moves towards halfway, long ball over the top, looking to utilise the pace of Traore, but well done again, Arnold. Uses his penalty area to good effect to come out and pick it up before the Wolves player could get there.
And I've put the onus on the back 3 to deal with the pace of Traore and Costa. Arnold has got to make the space in behind the defenders as small as he possibly can as well, and come and sweep up any long balls hit over the top. And if he can hold on to them at the edge of the box, sometimes he might have to come outside of his box and deal with the ball with his feet, but he's got to congest that space that Neves has to drop the ball into, which Traore and Costa can then get after.
14 minutes played, BBC Radio Shropshire, FA Cup 4th round, Shrewsbury Town 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. And Town dealing very well so far with the team 8th in the Premier League. Giles plays it back to Ruddy here. One cap for England, John Ruddy. Came against Italy in 2012. A game that England won by 2-1. Lost his place though this season, hasn't he, at Molineux in the Premier League to Rui Patricio, the Portuguese international goalkeeper.
It was so good last season in the Championship as well, almost unfortunate, but when you can go and spend 20 million quid on a Portugal goalkeeper, it's a sign of the times, isn't it, for all players in the Premier League? You're never quite sure of your place.
Well, it's a Town goal kick here, which Steve Arnold is spotting up. This is a big day for Steve Arnold, isn't it? He was playing for Barrow last season in the National League. And here he is facing top-flight opposition.
He'll be used to these windy conditions then.
Arnold's all in yellow. Good connection. Ball sails over halfway. Header won by Bennett. Beckles now nods it into the Wolves half. And Saiss is up well. Powers his header into touch, and it will be a Town throw. And Sean Worley, great to see him back involved as one of the subs. Just picking the ball up as he stretches in front of the family stand here at the Montgomery Waters Meadow. Throw-in is taken by Bolton to Beckles, and now Waterfall, who just made that terrific challenge a few moments ago on the dangerous Helder Costa. And Waterfall plays it square to Sadler. Town lining up with a trio of central defenders, as they did for the second half at Stoke in the third round replay when they overturned a 2-0 deficit, famously, to win 3-2. Bolton heads it forward. Is a handball against Docherty? Yes, it is. Saints Elizabeth on this near side. Few groans from some of the Town supporters, but it will be a Wolverhampton Wanderers free kick just on the edge of their 18-yard box. It's taken quickly by Saiss to Cody. Works it forward now to Doherty, who checks, goes back into his own half. Wolves, who like playing this way, don't they? Very patient build-up from the back. And now Saiss moves towards halfway, clips the ball forward. Too much on that one, easily cleared by Beckles. And Wolves win a throw, some 25 yards to the Town goal, 0-0.
Well, what ideally Wolves like to do is win the ball back and turn teams and get the wing-backs involved, play the long diagonals, use the pace in behind. That's why they've been so good against the likes of Manchester City and Spurs, just hitting them on the break and defending well against them. But Town are forcing them to be patient and probe.
Traore, good run down the right-hand side. Ball comes in, and it's going to be kept alive here by Giles. Good turn by Gibbs-White, who shoots, and it's off target. It was lovely skill from Gibbs-White. He is well off target in the end, but what pace and ability from Traore down the right at the start of that move. And the pity for Wolves that the ball in from Traore didn't give any sort of chance to any teammate to get on the end of.
And that is Traore in a nutshell. The bleached blonde hair makes him easily identifiable, and he's quick, he gets into great positions, but then the end product isn't always there. But Morgan Gibbs-White looks a player, doesn't he? You can just see sometimes by the way players carry themselves. Lovely little spin trick there, but it's the way he plays with his head up and glides across the turf.
Here's Okenabiri. Okenabiri for Town uses Docherty, right-hand side of the Wolves box. Docherty to Norburn, and now out to Haynes on the left-hand side, 35 yards from the Wolves goal. Ball forward to Grant, near the corner flag on the left-hand side. 18 minutes on the clock. Loren, good ability, gets his pass away to Okenabiri. Can't quite get the shot in, and Wolves clear. Good football from Town. Beckles to Docherty, turns the ball forward to Bolton. Bolton, good ball towards the near post, and it's turned behind by Saiss. Town corner.
That's good play, and Okenabiri, had he been able to bring that under control, would have had a really good chance there to give Town the lead. But they're getting the front man into the game. Second set piece now, and the Town fans are responding to that. It's certainly not been all one-way traffic. In fact, most of the game's probably taken place in front of those away fans.
Good noise as Town win a corner, which will be taken here by Haynes, the former Coventry City player. 0-0 in the fourth round of the FA Cup. 18.5 minutes played. Haynes takes a corner towards the far post. Bolton's in there, and the ref has spotted an infringement, and it will be a Wolves free kick in their 6-yard box.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because Bolton won the header and it was bouncing around in there. Wolves hacked it away, but they know 19 minutes into this one that they're in a game, which is good. You always say, don't you, get to 20 minutes, 22.5 minutes, competitive, and Town have done more than that as we approach that point.
Ruddy then to take this goal kick for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Had such a good time of it in the Championship last season. Back in the top division. They're being held here 0-0 with 19 minutes on the clock. Saiz, first time clearance, left-footed towards the centre circle. Grant loses out, but Norburn wins it back, and now Nevis clips the ball forward awkwardly. Well watched by Beckles, who plays it back to Arnold, and the goalkeeper gets through it quickly. Downfield, Okudabiri looks to put the pressure on Saiz here. Saiz in the left-back position at the moment. Good pressure from Okudabiri. No easy out ball here for the Wolves player, and Town win it back upfield. Good pressing. Bolton, number 13 for Town, shows a bit too much of that to Neves. And Wolves played across the edge of the penalty area. Good cup tie this, though. Not an awful lot in terms of clear-cut chances as yet, but it's compelling, isn't it, to see just how this will play out. Gibbs White on the ball just inside the Town half. Goes short to Ruben Neves. Good ball from the classy midfield player. Traore on the right-hand side, dispossessed by Sadler. And Sadler plays the ball over halfway. Asking a bit too much of Okudabiri this time. And the ball goes through to John Ruddy, the Wolves goalkeeper. Wolves have won the FA Cup 4 times. The last time, though, 1960. So quite a while ago when they beat Blackburn 3-0. Norman Dealey scored twice that day for a Wolves side that included Peter Broadbent, a player who later played so well for Shrewsbury Town in the 1960s. Such a famous, illustrious history, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Traore to Doherty, dispossessed by Grant, and Grant goes down, no free kick. Neves for Wolves, ball into the box looking for Helder Costa, no way through. Neves on the volley, blocked by Beckles, and Docherty plays it back to Arnold, who prevents the ball going out for a corner. And Arnold does well, plays the ball up towards halfway, where Saiz wins a header for Wolves. Neves goes back into his own half. Just a 1 goal so far in the 3 o'clock games in the Premier League. Swansea 1, Gillingham 0. Quite a few 3 o'clock games being played in the FA Cup. There are games later today as well. 8 3 o'clock kickoffs in the FA Cup. Wolves, Telford 0-0 at Southport, by the way, in the National North. Gibbs White for Wolves on the left-hand side to Helder Costa. And that's a challenge from Okudabiri on Saiz, and Roger Rees decides that should be a Wolverhampton Wanderers free kick, some 45 yards from the Town goal, left of centre. Okudabiri apologises to Saiz.
Yeah, just caught him with the studs on the back of the leg, the Achilles tendon, and it's a painful one for Saiz, nothing malicious in it. Okudabiri working hard, trying to win the ball back for Town, who over the past 3 or 4 minutes have just been penned in a little bit. They've got to make sure when they are just knocking balls into the channel that they give Okudabiri a chance to get on the end of them and hold it up. Neves, 30 yards out, plays an angle ball forward. Costa after that one, and well cleared by Bolton. Does well, Bolton, and it will be a Wolves throw midway inside the Town half. As Wolves play towards the home end, the Salah Leisure stand end in this first half, which is at its midway point. 0-0 here. Bennett, the centre half, is going to take this throw for Wolves. Waterfall and Beckles and Sadler organising things at the back for the Town. Here comes a long throw from Bennett then. Headed away well by Beckles. Doherty more central now for Wolves. Nice little ball, uses Giles, just keeps it in on the left-hand side. He's dispossessed by Docherty, and it will be a Wolves throw. Yeah, and again, Town can use the touchline as an extra defender, just force them. They've got wing-backs that can tuck in and make the pitch small, congest it right in front of their own penalty area, and just force the likes of Giles on this left-hand side to have to check back and avoid that whitewash. Remain Saiz, forward to Gibbs White. This is happening just inside the Town half on the left-hand side. Gibbs White goes back into his own half, and Neves drops deep.
Always has so many touches of the ball, doesn't he, Neves? Such an influential player for Wolves. And Sadler on defensive duty in the left-back position this time, takes no chances. Knocks the ball into touch. Just below, fittingly, the Spirit of 79 banner. And that was the last time these two teams met, 1979 in the FA Cup, that is, when Town famously drew 1-1 at Molineux in the quarter-finals. Ian Atkins with the late penalty. Then they lost a replay 3-1. Long throw comes into the Town penalty area. Haynes clears. Wolves keep the pressure on. Doherty, no way through. Here he is again. Does well. Gets to the byline. Pulls it back. This is the chance of Traore over the top. Good play from Doherty. Pulls it back, and it's a bit wild, isn't it, from Traore? A long, long way over the top.
Yeah, under pressure, but that was really well worked down the right-hand side. Town struggling to contain them in that moment, and when it was squared to Traore, I think a big portion of this 9,500 crowd feared the worst, but he leant back, didn't really take it with a cool head, and managed to hit the Salop Leisure Stand logo right on the top of the stand, which, I don't know, as misses go, he only just kept it in the ground.
Steve Arnold then to take this goal kick. It's 0-0 here. Good news for Telford, they have taken the lead at Southport in the National North. Southport 0, Telford 1. Loren goes down, shove in the back by Leander Dendoncker, who's on loan from the Belgian Giants Anderlecht to Wolves. And it will be a Town free kick. Possibilities here then, maybe. It's some 35 yards away from the Wolves goal. Town playing towards the away end here in this first half, and it's a chance for Waterfall and Sadler and Beckles to make their way forward. Manchester City 1, Burnley 0.
Worth a shot, this, isn't it?
In the FA Cup.
Just to the right. It's a long way out, but I don't know, greasy ball, slippery surface.
Docherty plays it into the box, looking for Okadabiri. Tried to slide it just forward there to Okadabiri to catch Wolves out, but Wolves anticipated.
Not for the first time.
Yeah, we thought we were going to knock it into the box, maybe, for the centre half to try and get on the end of. But Wolves were alive to the possibilities they clear, but Town do get an advanced throw in here on the right-hand side, which Bolton will take. 27 minutes played, 0-0 here. Bolton with the throw in towards Docherty, and now Norburn in the penalty area. Norburn does well, then he drills it in, blocked off by Giles. Town corner.
Yeah, good quick feet from Norburn to make the space in the box. I thought it opened up for him maybe to have a shot, but he took an extra touch and then won the corner. But Shrewsbury are getting good opportunities from set pieces, and again with the three centre halves in there, so much to aim at for Ryan Haynes.
It's a proper tie, isn't it? Nothing between the teams, 0-0. Haynes to take this corner. The defenders have made their way forward again. Haynes, deep it goes towards the far post, but it's a bit too tight there for Waterfall and Bolton to head it back into the danger zone. And it flies behind, and it will be a goal kick to Wolves. A couple of times now Haynes trying to go for that wicked corner to the far post.
And they've worked that a lot this season, with Waterfall particularly lurking beyond the far post. But I think today, just dropping it between the sticks at any depth in front of goal, and giving Beckles in particular and Waterfall a chance to go and attack it as the default corner would be the one I'd be going for.
Here's Loren for Town. Good ball forward to Okadabiri. Midway inside the Wolves half, left-hand side. Does well to give it back to Loren, to Docherty now. And now Haynes well forward. This is promising from Shrewsbury Town. Haynes then is blocked off by Dendoncker, but it will be a Town throw. Town playing some really good football here. Passing it around with real quality as they look to mix up their game here against a team who are 8th in the Premier League, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Chance for Haynes to get a long throw into the Wolves penalty area here. Bolton and Waterfall well forward again. Long throw then from Haynes, doesn't quite find its way to Waterfall. Norburn keeps the pressure on. Beckles on the volley, takes a deflection, and it goes away from goal. And Ruddy moves across to deal with that comfortably in the end.
That's better though, isn't it? Again, as I say, just in front of goal. When you put a ball in between the two posts and you get a deflection, you get a bobble, you get a bounce, you get a second ball, all of a sudden the threat is there because you're not attacking it from a tighter angle, not trying to return it back into the danger area, it's already there. And Beckles swung a right boot at it and almost gave Town the lead.
Town with this free kick just inside their own half. We can see the Wolves manager, Nuno Espirito Santo, on the edge of his technical area, arms folded. Used to be a goalkeeper, Porto goalkeeper. It's Town look for Okanabiri, Wolves clear. He then returned to Porto as manager. He
Not
also
the tallest,
managed
is he, for a goalkeeper?
Done a really good job as Wolves manager, hasn't he? Terrific job. League One latest. Southend 0, Luton 1. And Luton come here next Saturday. Currently under the caretaker manager, Mick Harford, flying high, and they're 1 up at Southend. Wycombe 1, Plymouth 0 is a League One latest. Town free kick midway inside their own half here. Half an hour played, 0-0 in the 4th round of the FA Cup. Steve Arnold will take this free kick. Telford a 1-0 up at Southport. Still raining here at the Meadow, as Arnold's free kick is overhit and it goes out of play, and it will be a goal kick now to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Just wonder what the Wolves manager, well, what both managers actually will make of it half an hour in, Mark.
Well, I think the English FA Cup is very different, isn't it, for foreign managers. The Portuguese Cup is not like this. They don't have the same depth of quality going down the divisions. You know, even in bigger countries, Spain and Italy, the depth isn't quite there. It's all concentrated in the top couple of divisions. Some people point that out as a negative of English football, but it's a good introduction for Nuno, who's been around for a while now, so we'll know what to expect, and this is exactly what to expect from a sort of traditional full-blooded cup tie.
Well, Town fans frustrated. You can maybe hear the groans of disapproval. Okanabiri has just gone down after he tried to get on the end of a forward pass from Grant, but no free kick, and Wolves now play their way out from the back with Gibbs-White on the left-hand side, tries to find Traore, well cut out by Beckles. Wolves keep the pressure on. Giles is ball in from the left, blocked off well by Bolton, and it will be a Wolves throw near the corner flag. 0-0, 31 minutes on the clock. Let's see what Wolves can produce from this attacking position then. Throw-in taken by Giles. Gibbs-White runs into Docherty, who gets a block in, and the ball spins into touch, and that will be a throw to Wolverhampton Wanderers, who have a very good away record in the top division. Throw-in taken short to Traore. Bolton's got hold of his shirt. Traore does well. Plays it forward to the edge of the box. That's a poor ball, though, from Dendoncker. And Wolves are now back in their own half, and from halfway, Cody goes all the way home to Ruddy. Good closing down from Town again.
Yeah, and again, when they are pinned back, the wing-backs become full-backs. They defend with 5. They've got 2 defensive midfielders in front of that. It's difficult for Wolves, who aren't used to having to try and pass through teams with a lot of men camped behind the ball. Certainly, that's not something they've encountered in the Premier League much, where they've been the underdogs a lot. And actually, it's something they've struggled with when they have had to face teams who've tried to set up more defensively against them.
Wolves free kick given for the challenge on Traore, 10 yards inside the Town half. More good news for Telford. Marcus Tananga has doubled their lead at Southport. Southport 0, Telford 2. Neves with the free kick. Wolves keep it in the centre circle. Neves has it back. Lots of options in front of him. He goes short to Dendoncker. Wolves just keep the ball. Cody, very patient build-up. Nicely weighted header from Helder Costa. Still 0-0 here. 12 minutes to go in the first half. Wolves give the ball away. Norburn pounces. He was playing in the National League for Tranmere last season. It's just a big day for him, isn't it, playing against top-flight opposition. There he is again, Norburn. Good tackle. Loren looks for Okanabiri. Can't find him. Ollie McBurney has got his second of the game for Swansea, who are 2-0 up on Gillingham in the 4th round of the FA Cup in South Wales. Morgan Gibbs-White on the ball, midway inside the Town half, left-hand side. Goes short to Giles. Back now to Saiz. Wolves just content to let the ball keep moving, and now they look for the incisive ball forward. Haynes clears, and as far as Dendoncker, shot comes in from Costa, and it's comfortable, straight at Steve Arnold.
Yeah, Gibbs-White drifting out to the left-hand side and almost playing as an extra wide man out here with Giles. They've got a three-man midfield with Neves at the base of it and Dendoncker trying to push forward on the right as well, but those channels that Gibbs White and Dendoncker want to exploit, the half space is just infield, not quite on the wing, not quite in the centre. A full, because Town have got the two defensive midfielders, the centre halves, three of them, and the wing backs. There's just no room for them.
Here's Norburn for Town, midway inside the Wolves half, looks at Docherty. Wolves win it back. Neves challenged by Norburn. They keep the ball. The away side, the team from Molineux. Still 0-0. Dendoncker does well to turn away from Grant. Now he moves over halfway. Finds Neves in the centre circle. Neves looking to open Town up. Good ball forward to Traore. Holds off Haynes. Traore still. Doherty on the overlap, and he's fed. There's a pullback, and Dendoncker can't sort his feet out, and they've straight offside. Town free kick.
He's like a bulldozer, isn't he, Traore? How on earth is he going to get that shirt off at the end of the game? Is it a shirt or is it painted to him? It's incredibly tight. You wonder about his circulation, don't you? It's a good 2 sizes too small, that White Wolves shirt, for Adama Traore. But then, look, if I had pecs like that, I think I might wear a slightly tighter shirt as well.
So far, Mark, for me, the biggest threat to Shrewsbury Town, Matt Doherty, down the right-hand side.
I think that's fair. And Haynes and Loren over on that far side, who's trying to support Haynes when Town do get pushed back, and Sadler as well drifting out, have probably had the hardest time with Traore over there as well, occupying a lot of their attention. But no clear chances really for Wolves. Traore under pressure, shot over from the edge of the box. That's as good as it's got for them.
Good closing down from Docherty as Said brings the ball forward from the back. And Town's work rate terrific. Remember, they're playing against a team a lot of places above them in the footballing pyramid. Wolves 8th in the Premier League. Shrewsbury 2 divisions lower in League One, 18th at the moment. And it will be a Wolves throw, which is taken here by Giles. Beckel steps in, puts the ball out of play, and it will be a Wolves throw once again. Wolves do have this good away record this season. They've won at West Ham, Crystal Palace, Newcastle, and they beat Tottenham 3-1 at Wembley. They also won 2-0 at Sheffield Wednesday in the League Cup. They've had draws at Manchester United and Arsenal and Fulham.
They are set up, aren't they, to play away from home. The pace they've got going forward, the ability to pick a pass over the top with Neves in that quarterback role. What they're not built to do is have 75% possession and play through teams. That's not what Nuno set up his side to do. And Town, when they do get bodies behind the ball, are exposing that a little bit at the moment. Wolves just haven't quite had the penetrative interplay that they would want.
Still 0-0, 8 minutes to go in this first half on BBC Radio Shropshire. Wolves just keeping the ball inside their own half here. Cody, the captain, goes short to Neves, and now with Bennett. Just keep the ball so well, don't they? And then Traore cuts inside, he goes down under the challenge from Grant and Haynes, and that will be a Wolves free kick, some 45 yards from the Shrewsbury Town goal. But neither goalkeeper has had what you'd call a save worthy of the name so far.
No, and that again is a big credit to Shrewsbury Town with, what, 8 minutes of this first half to go. They have really restricted Wolves and actually have forced some scary moments at the other end for the away side. This hasn't been a backs to the wall performance by any stretch of the imagination.
Wolves free kick, whipped in here towards Doherty, beaten in the air. Town clear well. Neves knocks it back into the Town box. Town stand firm once again. Good feet from Loren. He cleverly gives it to Bolton. Now Loren allowed to turn midway inside his own half, central position. Tries to give it back to Bolton. Couldn't find him. Ball goes out of play, and it will be a Wolves throw now in the left back position. 7 minutes to go in this first half. Still 0-0 here. Stuart Dunn and Mark Elliott at the Montgomery Waters Meadow this afternoon. Telford 2-0 up at Southport. Good challenge from Norburn on Gibbs wide. Nice back heel from Okenabiri. And now Norburn to Loren. And Loren shows a bit too much of that to Bennett, maybe. Down goes the Town player, no free kick, but then Loren wins it well off Dendoncker, who shows a cool head, the Belgian international, who played against England in the group stages of the last World Cup. Dendoncker. Town win the ball. Grant to Docherty, 30 yards from goal, there to hit. Doherty does shoot, and the keeper can't hold, and Wolves clear. Terrific hit from Doherty from 25, 30 yards, and Ruddy keeps it out for Wolves.
Well, encouraged to shoot by the crowd, Doherty took it on, and Okenabiri was so close to picking up the pieces. Ruddy just didn't know where that was going. It moved in the air, he sort of pushed it down right into the centre of goal, and it was unfortunate that it was half a yard away from the on-rushing Town striker.
Good hit from Doherty. Town will take encouragement from that. He can move in the air and cause the goalkeeper all sorts of problems. He was relieved to just shovel it out, wasn't he? The Wolves goalkeeper hasn't played too many first team games, has he? Just a cup game. So Town now given a free kick a couple of yards inside the Wolves half as we move into the final 5 minutes of this first half, with the score still at Town 0, Wolves 0.
Yeah, and when that lifts the crowd, the noise is great. Supporters have got to feed off anything Town give them and really make this as an intimidating atmosphere. The volume dropped midway through this half. It's picking up again now.
That's the first save of the game, isn't it, really? That one from Ruddy. And it was well hit by Doherty, who we know is capable of packing a punch from distance. Does strike a ball so cleanly. Town free kick. Diagonal ball comes in from Bolton. Ruddy comes, and he claims, the former Norwich City goalkeeper. Good take there from Ruddy, 32 years of age now, and he keeps hold of the ball here and assesses his options, and he'll look to get Wolves on the move. Still 0-0. Ruddy throws the ball out, looking for Gibbs-White, who again is closed down so quickly by Doherty, who gets the block in. And Wolves will have this throw midway inside their own half, which Giles takes. Gets the ball back from Helder Costa. Giles does well to feed the ball in field here to Dendoncker. And now it's with Bennett. Wolves attack down the right with Doherty. Into Dendoncker. Dispossessed by Loren, who's had a good first half, been heavily involved. And now Haynes drills the ball forward, chested down by Okenabiri. Norburn picks the ball up, and from halfway or thereabouts, he turns and plays it back to Steve Arnold, the goalkeeper. Both of these teams have league matches this coming Tuesday. Wolves at home to West Ham in the Premier League, and Shrewsbury have a big game at Valley Parade against Bradford City. Full coverage after the 7 o'clock news this coming Tuesday night here, of course, on BBC Shropshire. Norburn in the centre circle, turns away from Gibbs-White. Town keep it with Beckles, and now Waterfall, who was part of the Lincoln side that reached the quarter-finals of the FA Cup, wasn't he, a few years ago, when they were still a non-league team, so he's got some pedigree in this competition. Town look for Okenabiri, and he turns, looks after the ball well. Loren, midway inside the Wolves half. Haynes available on the left-hand side, and he gets it now. Haynes up against Doherty, looks to go the long way round, and Doherty stands his ground and plays it infield to Bennett, who clears up first time. Sadler wins a header. Couple of minutes to go in this first half. Still goalless here at a sold-out Montgomery Waters Meadow as the rain continues to fall. Proper FA Cup fourth round weather, isn't it? You'd expect this in January. Drizzly, overcast, rainy afternoon on the southern outskirts of the county town. Town win the ball on halfway. Then Grant now moving forward. Uses Loren. Loren on the left-hand side. Can Town get the ball in the box here? Grant dispossessed, and Wolves will look to take advantage. Helder Costa direct running, and he's upended by Waterfall, and that'll be a Wolves free kick. And I think Roger East wants a word here. I think it was Sadler who must have caught the Wolves player, actually. There's going to be a yellow card here for the Town captain, Matt Sadler.
Yeah, and whether Sadler saw that Beckles was playing Costa offside and decided that playing him onside, sorry, and decided that he needed to bring the Wolves man down, or whether he just thought, I've got to take one for the team here. That's exactly what he's done with the yellow card. But that's the problem. Grant, all of a sudden surrounded by 3 Wolves players, lost the ball, and then when there's space in behind, that's what Wolves love.
Wolves have the ball some 30 yards to the Town goal. Clip forward to Dendoncker. Town deal with it. Header well won by Neves. Now Doherty on the right-hand side. He's given the ball away this time. He was weaving infield. He tried to play that clever reverse ball to Leander Dendoncker. He couldn't find him. And the ball harmlessly runs behind. And it will be a goal kick. If you're Steve Arnold, as you look at the far end of the ground and you see that scoreboard, 44 minutes and 4 seconds, you're going to be surprised that you've had next to nothing to do, because he's been so well protected, hasn't he, by the men in front of him.
And he'd be delighted that he's had next to nothing to do. And it's been a really good performance from Town. I mean, the days where you could match Premier League teams for athleticism are long gone. They're all unbelievably good athletes. They are better athletes than players in Leagues 1 and 2, just quicker, stronger, more powerful by and large. But you can match them for work rate. You can better their work rate, and Town have. They've made it difficult for Wolves. Tactically they've been good. They've got men behind the ball when they've needed to. They've pushed on when they've been able to. They've used the ball fairly well. They've won at a fair few set pieces. I think Sam Ricketts will be as delighted as his goalkeeper is.
Yep, I think you're right. Town free kick here. Traore is just for the challenge on Grant. So Town free kick on halfway. James Bolton plays it up towards the edge of the box. Waterfall gets something on it. Here's Docherty there to hit, maybe. Docherty does shoot, and it's wide. Docherty thinks there might have been a touch on route off a Wolves player. The referee has a different viewpoint, and that will be a goal kick.
Yeah, it was the right decision. Docherty just dragged it, but again, getting the ball in a good position, pulling the trigger, wasn't quite as troublesome for John Ruddy as his initial effort a few minutes ago, but it's a good sign. Town winning the headers, getting the second ball, doing really well so far.
Stoppage time then at the end of this first half. Shrewsbury nil, Wolves nil. Rain falling a little bit heavier now. Sadler with the long ball forward for back to front, and it goes through to Ruddy, who kept out that long ranger from Docherty late in the first half. Wolves keep the ball just inside their own half again. Saiz forward to Neves, heads it back to Cody, and there's half time, and a big ovation for the League One side from the proud Salopians inside Montgomery Waters Meadow, because Town have gone toe-to-toe in this first half, haven't they? With the team flying high in 8th place in the Premier League, the team which beat Liverpool in the last round. And they've had the best effort, if you like, in the first half. The Docherty shot from distance, it was dealt with, not overly convincingly, but he dealt with it all the same. John Ruddy. In half-time, it's Shrewsbury nil, Wolves nil.
And here, Shrewsbury Town are going to be attacking the home end. Safe standing to our left. Can they suck in a winning goal on what would be a brilliant afternoon if Town could complete an upset? I've just seen BBC Shropshire's film critic Carl Jones, who's a Wolves fan. I wonder whether he's got split loyalties today, Stuart Dunn.
Well, here we go then, second half underway. Town and Wolves will be playing towards their respective ends of the ground. Wolves playing towards the end where the 1,500 plus travelling supporters are accommodated today, and Town playing towards the home end away to our left hand side, the safe standing end. And they would love to have a Shrewsbury Town goal to celebrate in this second half. The lights are on at the Montgomery Waters Meadow. It's 0-0, no changes made by the two managers at half time, and there is all very much to play for. Here's Doherty, well forward on the right-hand side. Haynes does the defensive duties well, but it will be a Wolves throw taken by Doherty. He's given the ball back. The Republic of Ireland international finds Traore. And now Neves gives it away. Well won by Bolton, who goes short to Docherty. Doherty tries to find Okenabiri. Here he is, turning sharply. Okenabiri, strong run. He's away from Neves, and he plays in Doherty. Good move this from Town. Doherty in the area. Scored! Scored! What a goal! Greg Doherty rifles it into the top corner of the net. Wonderful from Okenabiri. Doherty took a touch to steady himself, and then he's pulled out an unstoppable shot into the top corner of John Ruddy's net, and we have liftoff in a sold-out Montgomery Waters Meadow. Shrewsbury 1, Wolves 0.
That is an astonishing goal from an impossible angle from Greg Docherty. What a break from Shrewsbury Town, but when the ball fell to Docherty, right-hand side of the penalty area, there was no way he was going to be able to find the far corner from there. But almost from the position Van Basten scored in the Euro 88 final, he rifled it across goal into the side netting, and that is a stunning way for Shrewsbury Town to take the lead, and this afternoon just gets better and better and better.
What a good goal. 47, the magic number. 47 minutes. And at the safe standing end, Greg Doherty has scored a goal that will be talked about for many, many years to come. And Doherty did so well. He raced away from Ruben Neves and chose just the right. And what a finish. Shrewsbury 1, Wolves 0. The upset is on. But Wolves have so much quality in their ranks, and they'll be determined to cancel out this deficit. Town 1, Wolves 0. Cody for Wolves. It was unstoppable, wasn't it? No chance.
What an unbelievable strike that was, from an almost impossible angle to smash it past Ruddy, who was helpless. And you're right to credit Okenabiri, Stuart. Neves isn't the quickest, and Okenabiri isolated him in midfield and just ran away from him, and then picked the right pass. But from there to finish like that, well, stay up for match of the day tonight, because that was unbelievable.
Doherty for Wolves as they look to hit back straight away. Neves, some 30 yards out, shoots, big deflection, and it's a whisker away from an equaliser. Big deflection on that Neves shot, and it was so close to finding the bottom corner. It would have been so unfortunate on Town to concede in that manner. It's a Wolves corner.
Well, that was the thickness of a cigarette paper away from the post, and Arnold rooted to the spot because of the deflection. Wouldn't have been able to do anything about that. Neves so close to atoning for not being able to get back at Okenabiri.
Wolves corner. The team 8th in the Premier League take it short. Gibbs wide, tries to knock it into the middle. Doherty, the goal scorer, and what a goal. Stands firm, and it will be Wolves attacking through. It is joining us. Where have you been? Shrewsbury 1-0 up here on Wolves in the FA Cup. Town with Arnold in goal. Just break half here because Doherty down the right looking to herd Town. He's into the penalty area. Ball comes in, chance for Costa. Tees up Neves, who shoots, and it's high and wide. That's a goal kick to Shrewsbury Town.
Edge of the box, it's half a chance. Grant and Norburn congratulating each other for throwing their bodies in the way and forcing Neves to go high. And in the end, he went too high with the shot. And Town have absorbed that initial reaction from Wolves. So, 50 minutes or near enough on the clock. They've got something to hang on to.
So Town today, Steve Arnold in goal. At the back, Beckles, Waterfall and Sadler. And then Bolton and Haynes out wide. Holding midfielders, Grant and Norburn. In front of them, Doherty and Loren and Okenabiri, the centre forward. Here's Traore for Wolves. And Haynes tidies up, plays it back to Arnold, who clears first time downfield. Bennett with the header. Forward to Doherty. And now Helder Costa. Neves to Cody. Telford are 3-0 up now at Southport in the National North. Shrewsbury 1, Wolves 0 here in the FA Cup on BBC Shropshire. Neves, ball in towards Costa, who can't get anything on it. And that will be a goal kick for Shrewsbury Town. The Wolves team then, Ruddy in goal. At the back, Bennett, Cody and Saiz. And then Doherty, Neves, Dendoncker and Giles, and Gibbs wide playing just behind Traore and Costa. But it's Shrewsbury 1, Wolves 0. When these teams are in League One a few years ago, Town didn't score in the 2 games with Wolves. They were unfortunate to lose 1-0 here to a late penalty from Bakary Sacco. And then it was 0-0 at Molineux, which was a very good point for Shrewsbury that season. But they've scored today, and what a goal they've scored. Here they come again. Okenabiri down the right. Saiz plays it back to Ruddy. Wolves play their way out of danger. Ball up towards Traore in the centre circle. Traore for Wolves, holds off Sadler, who was booked in the first half, so he's got to be careful. Dendoncker for Wolves, finds Doherty. Doherty running at Haynes, 30 yards from the Shrewsbury goal. Doherty again does well, but then he gives it away to Grant. Daniel Udoh, by the way, the latest Telford goal scorer on what is so far 0, Telford 3. Foul on Anthony Grant. Then Donker clearly impedes Anthony Grant, and that will be a free kick to the League One side, who lead Wolverhampton Wanderers by a goal to nil. How good does that sound?
And this is where Anthony Grant comes into his own, winning so many free kicks and just halting the momentum as Wolves try and get after town and push on and raise the tempo. Grant is so good at just drawing fouls in the centre of the pitch, and he's got a big grin on his face. He knew that he bought that one from Den Donker. It was a foul, got his body in between the Belgium international and the ball. Went down, and all of a sudden Wolves are having to start from 85 yards away from the town goal.
Gillingham have got one back at Swansea. Joshua Rees. Swansea 2, Gillingham 1. That's an FA Cup fourth round tie, as this is. And League One, Shrewsbury Town lead Wolves of the Premier League by a goal to nil. Cody on the ball in the centre circle, uses Bennett. Now it's with Den Donker. Den Donker into the feet of Traore. Now Doherty does well. Traore in some space on the right hand side. Ball in towards the far post. It's an awkward one, headed down, it's away from goal, and Haynes completes the clearance. Up towards Okenabiri, who was involved in the goal, played a big part to set up Docherty. Wolves come again in their away kit today, all white, the team from Molineux. Doherty plays a 1-2, gets to the byline, ball comes in, it's a great save from Arnold, who's on the follow-up. Gives wide, but Town get a block in. What a save from Arnold to deny, I think it was Helder Costa. And Town now on the counter. Norburn, good ball. Doherty away down the right, end-to-end cup tie. Okenabiri in the middle. Doherty plays the ball in, and it's unconvincing from Ruddy. Knocks it behind him, and then he picks it up gratefully.
What a save, though, from Arnold at the other end. Helder Costa, free header, best chance of the game, the first clear-cut chance of the game for Wolves. He headed it just to the left of Arnold, shouldn't have given him any chance, but he did. And the Town goalkeeper sprung up in the air, dressed all in yellow, and pushed it away. A brilliant save. What a chance for Costa. Town ride their luck. They're going to have to over the last 35 minutes or so.
But it's a cliche, isn't it? A proper cup tie atmosphere, etc. But we've got that exactly today, haven't we? Shrewsbury 1, Wolves 0 here. BBC Radio Shropshire, 10 minutes into the second half. Town lead through that thunderbolt from Greg Docherty, the on-loan midfield player from Glasgow Rangers, and it was a wonderful, wonderful strike into the top corner from a fairly tight angle. As Arnold, who just made that fine save from Helder Costa, clears over halfway. Wolves look for Traore. Norburn steps in and goes short to Haynes, and Haynes knocks it into touch. Ball actually, you can hear, hits the roof of the main stand here at Montgomery Waters Meadow. Shrewsbury 1, Wolves 0.
Here comes the ultimate compliment, though, because Wolves, I can see one change about to be made. I think they might be making two, but Raul Jimenez is about to come on. Yeah,
Raul Jimenez, Mexican international, is about to come on for Wolves because they need a goal, otherwise they're going out to the FA Cup, aren't they? Plenty of time for Wolves. They won't panic, they'll still keep playing their football. Saiz with the ball in, Sadler defends it well on the penalty spot. Excellent play from the captain, clears long into the Wolves half. Saiz, little ball short to Conor Cody, gives it back to Saiz. Town 1, Wolves 0. Saiz for Wolves, gives it away, well won by Waterfall. Manchester City 2, Burnley 0 in the FA Cup at the Etihad, as Cody plays it forward to Den Donker. Number 9 then, Raul Jimenez about to come on. Here's Den Donker. Den Donker shoots, and it's straight at Steve Arnold.
Well, Wolves have picked the pace up now, and it's becoming harder for Town. They're going to have to ride a few waves of Wolves attacks, but this is the reaction that Nuno would have wanted. It's the reaction Sam Ricketts and his team would have expected, and well, Town still lead. And here comes a guy who has social media followers in the millions. This is a big deal, this guy in Mexico. Raul Jimenez, who plays for the national team and has done really well in his first season in the Premier League.
15 goals in 70 caps for Mexico. As Norburn plays it forward. Here's Loren on the edge of the penalty area, right-hand side, Town 1, Wolves 0. Bolton is fouled here, and it will be a Shrewsbury Town free kick, a couple of yards outside the penalty area. As they play towards the home end, which erupted in delight when Doherty smashed that shot past Ruddy a couple of minutes into the second half. Jimenez still waiting to come on then, 57.5 minutes on the clock. Docherty scored some special goals, hasn't he, for the Town? It's got to be the best though, hasn't it, given the occasion.
Oh, and what an unbelievable finish. Still can't quite work out how he managed to put that where he did from the angle that he did, but what venom in the strike.
Free kick taken by Docherty, headed goalwards, and it's just off target by Waterfall. Waterfall rose and he got his head to that one, but it's gone wide, and it came off a Wolves player. It's going to be a corner here.
It was half a chance, wasn't it? Again, Waterfall got there. I don't know whether it sort of skidded off his face or off his shoulder and then hit the Wolves player and went wide. Town is such a threat from set pieces against this Wolves team that isn't the biggest height-wise.
Town corner, Jimenez still waiting to come on. Corner will be taken here by Norburn. Town 1, Wolves 0. Norburn delivers and Ruddy does well as an in-swing, goes right on the line. The Wolves goalkeeper catches that, and he rolls it out here to Traore. Haynes covers, and Haynes deals with it, puts it into touch, and it will be a Wolves throw, 20 yards from the Town goal. And here comes the Wolves change. Dendonka, attacking midfield play going off, and Jimenez coming on. So a Mexican international replacing a Belgian international.
Yeah, and that's a defensive midfielder by trade coming off and a centre forward coming on. They've been playing without a recognised centre forward. Costa and Traore more attacking wide players by trade, but they've been playing up front together. Now they've got an old-fashioned number 9.
Wolves attack down the left. Jimenez, and he's missed with his first touch. Good ball in from the left-hand side, and Jimenez set himself up for the shot. First time effort, and he's missed the target.
First touch, what a chance. It looks like Jimenez will play down the middle, and then those two wide players will play either side. Here's a compliment, they've matched up to Shrewsbury Town, Wolverhampton Wanderers. So they're going to go with a 3-4-3, and well, I think had he been on and had a couple of touches, he buries that, Jimenez, but put it well wide, went brilliantly placed just to the left of goal, 8 yards out. Sitter, really.
An hour played. BBC Shropshire, Shrewsbury 1, Wolves 0 in the 4th round of the FA Cup. Here's Doherty midway inside his own half, plays it in field to Neves, and now Cody. Town could expect to defend plenty, you would have thought, in the final half an hour or so, as Wolves do all they can to avoid making the FA Cup headlines for all the wrong reasons from their point of view. Neves to Bennett. Telford 3-0 up at Southport in the National North as Grant takes the ball off Traore. Sadler up towards halfway. Neves to Wolves on halfway. It's all in front of him. Such a good footballer. Goes short to Gibbs-White. Touch from Jimenez. Plays it out to the far side to Saiz. And they look for Helder Costa. And Helder Costa seems to have a bit of grabbing Govar Beckles by the arm there. Down goes Beckles. And that will be a Shrewsbury Town free kick in the right back position.
Yeah, and again it just relieves the pressure, and they've just got to frustrate Wolves now for as long as they possibly can, and that frustration will build. I remember I covered a youth tournament, under-16 tournament at Shrewsbury Sports Village that involved a load of Mexican sides. Kivas from Guadalajara, and I think Necaxa were there, and one or two others, Al Akli from Egypt as well. The final of that tournament, Shrewsbury Town against Blackburn Rovers.
There you go. You never can tell. Shrewsbury 1, Wolves 0 in the FA Cup here. Jimenez, by the way, not the first Mexican international to play here. Javier Hernandez, of course, for West Ham in the FA Cup 3rd round.
How ineffective was he that day? Let's hope Jimenez has as poor an afternoon as his international strike partner.
61.5 minutes played. Town 1, Wolves 0. Wolves free kick on halfway. And they're keen to get on with it. The team from Molineux. Yellow card here for for Docherty of Shrewsbury Town. Wolves take the free kick. They go back into their own half. They took it too quickly because Roger East was still taking down the name of Greg Docherty into his notebook. So Wolves do take the free kick. It's forward to Gibbs White. Gibbs White is knocked off the ball by Grant at the expense of a Wolves free kick, says Roger East.
Oh, that was cheap, and the booking was even more cheap. Yeah, well, Doherty was booked. I don't know whether it was for preventing Wolves from taking the free kick. Grant's been booked bizarrely. One, I thought he won the ball, or certainly got his body between the Wolves man and the ball fairly. And then he was booked for what? I'm not entirely sure, but whether this is the referee trying to stop the time wasting, I don't know, lay down a marker, seems unfair. 2 quick yellow cards for not much.
Well, 3 Town players yellow carded now: Sadler, Docherty and Grant. Wolves free kick taken by Neves, headed wide, and it's a foul anyway by the Wolves player who was charging forward. It will be a Town free kick. They just have to try and calm it down, which is easier said than done, because it's a big game for people like Norburn and Okanabiri, Loren. Perhaps you'd say it's as big a game they've ever been involved in, perhaps, potentially.
It's going to be
right
where
the older players, your Grants and your Sadlers and your Waterfalls, have a big part to play. Yeah,
and players like Omar Beckles, who played both times against West Ham playoff finals, Wembley Cup finals now.
Docherty played in Rangers Celtic games.
In an Old Firm derby, just to help the others deal with the atmosphere, and the bench is going to be important as well. And they've just got to frustrate Wolves in every possible way. Don't let them take free kicks quickly. Knock the ball away when there's a throw-in. Do all the little annoying things. You know, step on the heel instead of going around a player. Just wind them up and make sure they're really annoyed going into the last 25 minutes or so.
Well, Doherty wins the throw off Giles here. It's 30 yards from the Wolves goal. Norburn gives it to Bolton. Town 1, Wolves 0. Bolton knocks it in front of him. Wolves deal with it. Giles, it's an unconvincing clearance. Bennett doesn't clear the danger either, and Bolton drives forward, and I think the ball would then ricochet into his face. That must have been painful, and the ball goes behind, and that'll be a goal kick to Wolves. Former Town striker Andre Gray has given Watford a 1-0 lead at Newcastle in the 4th round of the FA Cup. And here, just joining us on BBC Radio Shropshire, it's Shrewsbury Town 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Greg Docherty early in the second half, and it was a wonderful goal. Enjoyed on Match of the Day on BBC television later this evening. Wolves have given the ball away on halfway. Here's Docherty. Busy run again from Docherty. On he goes, and he plays in Okanabiri on the left-hand side of the box. Ball in towards Loren, and Bruni comes and makes it his.
Yeah, just ran away from Okanabiri. Docherty's pass slightly overhit when Okanabiri wanted to get his shot away, took him wide, and then he couldn't dig the ball out and find the onrushing Loren, who wanted to power the header goalwards. That was unfortunate, but Town have pace on the break.
Here's Traore on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Ball comes in, Arnold watches it and catches it. Well done again. Steve Arnold, 65 minutes in. If he keeps that clean sheet, then Town are through to the 5th round of the FA Cup.
He's doing the right thing as well, just taking an age over this. Bounce the ball 2 or 3 times, have a chat with Raul Jimenez, wind him up, and then play it as far away from his goal as possible, and hope Okanabiri can hold it up and Town can win a second ball.
Beckles heads it forward to Norburn, and now Bolton. Town 1, Wolves 0. Bolton looks. Oh no! Town fans thought it was handball, but his chest he controlled the ball with. Neves now for Wolves. Man City are 3-0 up on Burnley in the FA Cup 4th round. Kevin De Bruyne with a 3rd for Pep Guardiola's side. Cody, the Wolves captain, in the centre circle. Goes short to Bennett, forward to Traore. And now Gibbs wide, quickly closed down by Grant. Haynes steps in, wins it for the Town. Give and go with Loren. Haynes lifts it forward, ball runs away from Okanabiri. And Cody for Wolves. Wolves still have the likes of Cavallero on the bench. He could be the man they turn to try and get back into this game, perhaps. Another talented front runner. Here they come. Jimenez in the penalty area. Great challenge. Waterfall. Wonderful challenge. Well timed.
Fantastic.
Quarter to Wolves.
Luke Waterfall with 2 incredible tackles in this game, diving in the box again, this time against Jimenez, getting there, winning the ball cleanly and playing it out for a corner. He's been really good today.
Wolves corner in front of their travelling supporters as we move towards the midway point of this second half. Here comes a corner towards the far post, and well defended. Waterfall heads it behind, takes no chances. It's the right thing to do, isn't it? It will be another corner though to Wolves as they continue to chase an equaliser. Town have led for 20 minutes. That explosive finish from Greg Docherty at the start of the second half. Town 1, Wolves 0. Wolves looking to find themselves an equaliser here. They just have to keep doing what they're doing. They have been sensational so far in this FA Cup fourth round tie. Corner is whipped in towards the far post. Chance for Doherty, can't sort his feet out. Overhead kick, and it's off target from Jimenez. Goal kick.
Well, he's added something, hasn't he, Jimenez? A more direct goal threat, a presence at centre forward that they didn't have with the 2 quick wide players splitting and trying to get him behind. He's a threat in the air as well. He's a decent player, Jimenez, but with 20 minutes to go, it's dream stuff so far for Shrewsbury, isn't it? Both managers will be thinking about substitutions, I'm sure. That could be key.
Arnold clears, ball seems to catch in the wind a little bit there, didn't it? And Beckles helped it on its way into touch.
That is contributing to how difficult it is for Shrewsbury to clear their lines, by the way, because going long into the wind is obviously harder than it was with the wind in the first half.
Could be having a change. Seems as though Sam Ricketts just made a gesture to Eric Ramsey, one of the first team coaches. Town subs today. Well, Reece Charles Cook is the reserve keeper. Then you have Sean Worley, Lee Angle, Romain Vancelo, who's just joined the club this week, Aaron Amadi Holloway, Abo Issa and Ryan Sears. Referee having a word with Matt Sadler at the moment, the Shrewsbury Town captain. It will be a Town throw.
Bit of a conference happening, isn't there? Grant's involved, Docherty's involved, Sadler, Waterfall, Beckles. I think what the referee's noticing that he's not happy with, but he's tried a few times, whether he's just trying to say I'm not going to put up with any time wasting, I don't know, but it's Town's prerogative to take the time over things.
Good ball forward from Grant to Okanabiri. Wolves come away with the ball, but that's a good challenge.
Excellent.
From Norburn, and he's fouled. Excellent play, really good closing down from Norburn. Town free kick, midway inside the Wolves half.
Exactly what I said about not going around players. Absolutely fairly, went through the Wolves man, won the ball and then got the foul. Physical, but the right side of the law, or pushing the boundaries of the law, and that's what you've got to do to try and bridge the gap. And it's Town who come away with a free kick. Really good play from Norburn.
Ivan Cavallero is about to come on for Wolves. We'll have this Town free kick first of all. Docherty, some 35 yards from goal, swings the ball in, and it's headed behind by Bennett. Really important header won by the Wolves defender. Town corner though.
Yeah, that was a airy moment for Bennett, who could easily have put that into his own net. In the end, got just enough height on it.
So Wolves turning to Caballero here.
Well, Anthony Grant's
firepower.
Given some notes from Sam Ricketts. He's running over to Norburn with a load of paper. I don't know what that says on it.
Well, Norburn's going to have a look at that piece of paper.
It's going into his pants. He's hiding that.
He's having a quick look at it now. So the note has been passed via Anthony Grant to Ollie Norburn into the last 20 minutes. Town 1-0 up, and they have this corner. Norburn takes it towards the goal post, and it's there! Town are 2-0 up. Waterfall. Town 2. Wolves 0. Luke Waterfall powerfully heads in the corner from Ollie Norburn, and the FA Cup upset is well and truly on now. Partying at the Montgomery Waters Meadow. Incredible scene. Shrewsbury 2, Wolves 0.
Well, that is sensational. Good ball in, and Waterfall, exactly what I said in the first half. Drop it between the sticks and get Waterfall and Beckles attacking it. And it was Waterfall who attacked it and powered it home. A brilliant, brilliant goal. And, well, he is well on his way to a man of the match performance. fantastic header from a player who has his critics, has his problems defensively, can be a bit of a liability at times in the wrong situation. But this afternoon, Town have utilised his strengths brilliantly, and he has been outstanding.
Shrewsbury 2, Wolves 0 here. Caballero's come on for Giles, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's just come on again, another compliment. They're calling for the cavalry, Nuno and his coaches.
Shrewsbury 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Whatever was on that piece of paper, which Ollie Norburn had just received, you wonder, he had a look at it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Here come Wolves down the left-hand side, ball comes in, takes a deflection, it's headed wide of the near post, but it will be a corner to Wolves. Shrewsbury 2, Wolves 0. Docherty and Waterfall with the goals. Dream time as it stands for Shrewsbury Town, but they're not there yet. Wolves have got a lot of quality in this team, but 2-0 to the Town. Wolves corner. Steve Arnold organising his defenders. Here comes a corner. It's delivered towards the far post, too high for Doherty, and it's going to go out for a Town throw in the left-back position. 17 minutes to go. BBC Radio Shropshire. It's so exciting. It's Shrewsbury 2, Wolves 0.
Yeah, sensational performance so far. The perfect cup performance for a lower league team against a higher league team. A few issues in the away end over on that far side. A couple of supporters from Block 19 throwing things, which is a bit silly, and the police having to get involved and make sure they stay separate.
Wolves attack here with Traore. Ball goes behind, it's a corner. 16 minutes to go. Wolves have turned to the bench to send on Jimenez and Caballero now. Joshua, who scored a hat-trick last week against Leicester, not involved in the 18 today. So Wolves' corner to be taken here by Morgan Gibbs-White. Congested penalty area. Gibbs-White delivers. Well headed away by Haynes for the Town. Wolves can keep the pressure on here with Gibbs-White. Short ball to Caballero. Doncaster 1, Oldham 0 in the FA Cup. Caballero does well, twisting and turning. Ball comes in towards the near post, it's an awkward one, and there's the goal back. Jimenez. Ball found its way to Jimenez at the Mexican international. Makes no mistake. 16 minutes to go. Shrewsbury 2, Wolves 1.
Dare I say it, 2-0 leads in the FA Cup aren't exactly nailed on anymore, are they? Particularly in games involving Shrewsbury Town. We saw it at Stoke a couple of weeks ago. 1 goal in it now, and Jimenez has been a real threat since he's come on. That direct presence in the centre of the penalty area. Poacher, better in the air than the two that he's replaced in the middle, and well, he's got his goal. And now, 15 minutes to go, Town are back to hanging on.
The tension is incredible. It's Shrewsbury 2, Wolves 1 here in the FA Cup 4th round. Traore for Wolves, turns away from Sadler, running at Haynes. Traore, dangerous ball comes in, Beckles heads him behind. Wolves corner, and there's Wolves fans behind the goal their team are playing towards, just urging their team on here to get themselves an equaliser. Gibbs-White is going to take this corner for the team from Molineux. Steve Arnold organising his defenders. Gibbs-White then, looking to play a searching ball into the penalty area. It's deep towards the far post. Sadler gets something on it. Loren clears up towards Okanabiri, and he does well. Finds Loren, counter-attack is on here. Loren shows really good composure to pick out Docherty. 10 yards inside the Wolves half. Doherty goes back to Beckles. Shrewsbury 2, Wolves 1, 14 to go. Ball played forward by Beckles. Loren can't take it on, but Tan win it back with Norburn, who took the corner, which led to the second goal for Waterfall. Wolves attack down the left-hand side with Helder Costa. Challenge comes in, it's a touch and goes, and it will be a Wolves throw.
Yeah, and well, that crazy sort of 5 or 6 minutes has just put us basically back where we were. We're down a goal up and the clock ticking down. So again, Town need to stay calm, need to just keep running the clock down, keep pressurising and harassing Wolves and staying fair but physical and keep just managing this game as well as they can.
Down look for Docherty, sliding challenge from Cody. The Wolves captain is effective. Sam Ricketts and Eric Ramsey having a discussion. Do they turn to the bench? Sean Worley is warming up here. Haven't seen too much of him of late. The new signing as well, Romain Vancelo, is also warming up. Wolves are going to make their third and final change here. Doherty for the Town on the right-hand side of the Wolves box. Good dribbling from Doherty. On he goes, tries to wriggle his way through. There is no way through in the end, though. And Wolves can bring the ball away. Good challenge from Doherty. And it will be a Wolves throw in the left-back position.
Yeah, and it's in the right part of the pitch for the ball to be from a Shrewsbury Town perspective. They've still got to offer a threat on the break. They can't allow Wolves to be able to commit 8 or 9 players forward. They've got to put a bit of doubt in the mind of the Wolves back three before they step up the pitch. So Docherty will be vital for that. That's why I think Worley might come on, offer a bit of pace in behind, something for Wolves to think about, and an outlet for Town to try and get up the pitch.
The Wolves, by the way, are about to send on a man with lots and lots of experience. As Traore comes forward down the right-hand side, ball comes in awkwardly. Town defend it well. Fleetwood 0, Scunthorpe 1 is a League One latest. Grant for Town, challenged by Neves, foul by Neves. That's a Town free kick. Here comes a third and final Wolves change then. Morgan Gibbs-White is making way for João Moutinho, the man with 113 caps for Portugal, coming on here to try and help Wolves rescue this game, because they are 2-1 down with 11 minutes to play.
Yeah, an outstanding player over the years, João Moutinho, a mainstay of the Portugal team. He's won the French league with Monaco, won trophies by the bucket load in Portugal as well. He's gone in alongside Neves, and they will be the two that will be trying to create an equaliser for Wolves now.
Just over 10 minutes to play. Moutinho, Cavaleiro and Jimenez, who scored the Wolves goal, summoned from the bench then by the Wolves manager. 2-1 Shrewsbury lead. Great challenge from Loren, he's been outstanding today. But Wolves emerge with the ball. Cody. It's Costa now on the left-hand side, in towards Jimenez. Great challenge from Grant. Town just have to keep doing what they've done for 80 minutes. They have been phenomenal against a team 8th in the Premier League. Town 2-1 up. Here comes Traore. This is dangerous. Traore, on he goes. No way through. Traore shoots off target. That's a goal kick for Shrewsbury Town, who lead here on BBC Radio Shropshire by 2-1.
And that's the first sign of a bit of desperation from Wolves, from Traore. Bursting forward on his wrong foot, taking the shot on when he didn't necessarily need to. But here comes Sean Worley, first time at first team level for a little while again, and he'll just offer that outlet, and let's hope he can stay fit for the remainder of the season, because he's got the potential to be such a big player for Shrewsbury.
Well, he scored the last time Town were in the fourth round of the FA Cup, the Sheffield Wednesday game 3 seasons ago, when Town were 3-2 winners that day. So Worley about to come on, 9 minutes to play. Bennett for Wolves finds Doherty midway inside the Town half. Traore up against Haynes. Traore, he's so quick. Awkward ball comes in, and well defended again by Waterfall as Jimenez headed it goalwards. Came off Waterfall last, and Wolves have a corner as they continue to push for an equaliser. They trail 2-1, the Premier League team. Here comes Worley. Worley's going to come on for Docherty, who's worked so hard for Shrewsbury Town.
Yeah, Shrewsbury going 5-5-none formation. I guess Loren will go down the middle actually, and Worley will play off him. But Docherty's played really well actually. Really well played in the build-up to Doherty's goal, and he's worked really hard to lead the press from the front when Town have been able to get after Wolves.
Big cheer for Worley, very popular player. João Moutinho will take this corner for Wolves, and well headed away by Waterfall. Hits it behind, in fact. It'll be another corner to Wolverhampton Wanderers. 8 minutes to go. Town 2, Wolves 1. Moutinho to take another corner for Wolves, who were 2-0 down. It's now 2-1. Molineux towards the near post. Town easily head that one away at the near post. Docherty up towards Worley. First touch for Worley, and it's a clever one. Little back heel takes out Helder Costa from the game. And now Loren looks for Grant. Can't quite find him. And Cody gives it straight to Worley. Worley keeps hold of the ball. Little step over. Really confident start to Worley. Terrific play. Like he's never been away. Gives it to Loren. He can't quite give it back to Worley. And it's Wolves' turn now to turn defence into attack. Fasten your seatbelts, it could be that sort of finish here. 8 minutes to go. BBC Shropshire, Stuart Dunn and Mark Elliott. Watching this. Shrewsbury 2, Wolves 1. Telford are 3-0 up at Southport in the National North. Saiz for Wolves. Uses Helder Costa. Costa for Wolves down the left-hand side. Good challenge comes in from Norburn, who's been excellent for Town. They all have in blue and amber, and it will be a Town free kick. Adjacent to the edge of the penalty area, right-hand side. Get Mark's thoughts on man of the match in the next few minutes, but it's a Shrewsbury Town free kick, and we have 7 minutes to play in the FA Cup fourth round. Town 2, Wolves 1.
Well, whatever happens over the next 7 minutes or so, this is a performance that should propel Shrewsbury Town back into the League One season, and they should take huge confidence from this, because in many ways they're well worth a lead in terms of being a lower league side. Yes, at home against Premier League opposition. I know Wolves have had chances that they've missed, but Town could say the same, and hopefully now they can just see out these last few minutes.
Traore for Wolves on the right hand side, cuts inside Haynes. Traore into the near post. Cavallero can't do anything with it, and Grant really shows a cool head there to hold on to the ball. Then he plays it back to Sadler, clips it up towards halfway. Worley is beaten in the air by Bennett. Molineux to Doherty. Infield to Neves. Wolves hunting an equaliser. Here's Cody in the centre circle. Every Town player back in their own half, and that's a wasted ball forward from Wolves. It just runs harmlessly behind, and that will be a goal kick to Shrewsbury Town. Look at the urgency of Wolverhampton Wanderers. Jimenez, the centre forward, not only racing to get the ball from the advertising hoardings, but then obligingly spotting the ball up on the 6-yard box line for Steve Arnold to dispatch it.
And Arnold will pick it up, move it to the other side, and still take as long as he possibly can, overtaking it, and rightly so. And
it's like Romain Bancelo might be about to come on as well here.
Yeah, defensive change, isn't it? Maybe sensible to just get another body in between Wolves and the Town goal. There's not going to be much happening in front of the home supporters in the Salop Leisure stand over the next 5 minutes. It's going to be backs to the wall now, you would think, for Town.
Here's Costa, looks for Cavallero, can't find him. Grant, ball forward. Bennett in the right back position. Goes back to Ruddy. Town 2, Wolves 1, 5 minutes to go. Cody carrying the ball forward into the centre circle. Picks out Ruben Neves of Portugal. Finds Cavallero. 5 minutes to go. Town 2-1 up here. Wolves keep the ball. Town have got everyone within 30 or 40 yards of their own goal here, as they look to hold on to what they have, which is a 2-1 lead. Bennett for Wolves. Finds Doherty. Into Molineux. And now it's with Traore on the right-hand side. That's an awkward ball, comes in, Waterfall clears, and Norburn dispossessed. Ball loops into the penalty area. No danger there. Ball goes behind, and there's the ever-helpful Jimenez doing the job of ball boy once again, fetching it and giving it to Steve Arnold. Town have got a man down at the moment. Jordan Beach, the physio, just seeing if his services are required. I think it's Norburn, isn't it?
Yeah, Norburn's got a bad case of being 2-1 up in the 86th minute, and he's clambering back to his feet now, and actually that's the last involvement he's going to have in the game, because Vanslot's coming on for him. But Town are playing without a centre forward now. At times Doherty is the most advanced, at times it's Worley. They're sort of playing as an attacking midfield pair, but there's no striker. They're playing, when I said a version of 5-5, no, I wasn't far off wrong.
Played very well, Ollie Norburn. On comes Romain Vancelo, signed earlier this week from Crawley. What a game to come into, to make your debut for a new club. Experienced French player, used to be at Leyton Orient and Coventry and Bradford City. And he's on here to try and help Town see this game out. 3 minutes to go. Who's your man of the match, Mark?
Luke Waterfall, I think, has been outstanding at both ends. I've been fairly critical of him in recent weeks, just that lack of pace that he's got when he's isolated. But in the back three, with cover around him, I think he's been excellent. Scored a really good goal. He's put in 2 really good last-ditch tackles, headed away pretty much everything that's come at him. And credit where it's due, he's been outstanding. Yeah, he's been terrific. In his goal so far, proven to be the difference. Town 2-1 up. Foul there by João Moutinho on Sean Worley. And it's a Town free kick in the centre circle to be taken here by Omar Beckles with 2 minutes to go. Beckles plays the ball towards the corner flag, where Bolton is well forward. That's brilliant. Bolton does really well here. Tries to cut in field. Wolves take it off him. They have the ball inside their penalty area. They look for Neves. Short ball to Doherty. And the Irish international works the ball over halfway towards Traore. Doherty continues his run forward. Looks for Jimenez, and out comes Arnold, and he makes it his. Goalkeeper slides in, and a big cheer as he emerges with the ball. Steve Arnold. Shrewsbury 2, Wolves 1, and we are 2 minutes away from full time. Wouldn't have thought there would be too much stoppages. Yeah, a bit of time added for the substitution, but we haven't seen either physio on, have we? No. And with so many men in blue and amber behind the ball, even a team with the quality of Wolves, I find it tough to break down.
Man City 5, Burnley 0 in the FA Cup. Town loaded forward, Worley chasing hard. Bennett squeezes the ball back to Ruddy, plays it out from the back. 89 minutes played here. Shrewsbury Town 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Wolves play it forward. Moutinho in the centre circle, plays it forward to Caballero on the left-hand side. It's a good challenge from Beckles on Costa, and Town can clear with Bolton. Knocks it forward. There's no outball for Shrewsbury Town because they've understandably come back to try and hold on to what they have, which is this 2-1 advantage. Terrific noise around the Montgomery Waters meadow as the Town fans do all they can to roar their team to the finish line. Doherty for Wolves. Traore up against Haynes. Haynes lunges in, and that's a Wolves free kick. Slightly a couple of yards in from the corner flag. Wolves free kick with 89 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock.
A bit rash from Haynes, wasn't it? And he's given Wolves a chance for a set piece. But you would think with the men Town have got back, they should be able to challenge for this. Six, that's outrageous. Where on earth have they got 6 minutes from? That is outrageous, and Sam Ricketts is irate, and as well he should be.
6 minutes of added on time. Moutinho with the free kick. Well defended by Sadler. Loren gets his head on that one. Yeah, that's a surprise, isn't it, to see 6 minutes shown for added on time.
Scandalous, really. Where on earth does that come from?
Wolves have got a chance to get a long throw into the Town penalty area. Ryan Bennett to launch it as far as he possibly can. Well headed away by Grant. It's gone behind Wolves' corner. Stoppage time. Town 2, Wolves 1. And Moutinho about to take this corner. Telford are 4-0 up at Southport in the National North. Great away day for Telford. Wolves' corner then in stoppage time. Moutinho takes it short to Caballero. Ball comes in and well defended at the near post by Town. It's another corner though to Wolves. Town having to work so hard to pull off this famous giant-killing act. That's what it would be. Moutinho takes this corner deep this time towards the far post, and the ball had gone out before it came back in there from Moutinho, which surprises you with a player of that quality. Elistini, by the way, has scored Telford's 4th goal. They lead 4-0 at Southport. Town, stoppage time here, previously Shropshire. They are 2-1 up on Wolves. And a couple of minutes, 3-4 minutes of stoppage time away from a place in the last 16 of the FA Cup.
Yeah, they're going to get Abu Issa on to waste a little bit more time. But again, Steve Arnold taking his time over the goal kick, because he's just about getting it as far up the pitch as Town possibly can, trying to win the first ball, and then waiting for the wave of Wolves attackers to come forward.
Well, Worley has fouled Doherty on halfway. Another chance for Martinho to take this free kick. He takes it square this time to Neves. Number 8 on the back of his shirt. Short ball to Cody. It's a good ball to Traore on this right-hand side. He's running at Haynes. Traore, ball in towards the far post, and it's headed in! And Wolves have equalised! Late equaliser! Ball came in from the right-hand side, and it was Doherty, wasn't it? Who heads it down and in, and it's a stoppage time equaliser for Wolves. Shrewsbury 2, Wolves 2.
Well, that's cruel. That is cruel. 3 minutes into a nonsensical amount of stoppage time. Oh dear. That's... well, I don't really know what to say about that. That was a ball into the box. Good header. Town breached. Probably the sort of ball in that they'd back themselves to defend 9 times out of 10. That's a sucker punch.
Shrewsbury 2, Wolves 2. Goal coming very late. It'll be interesting to see just how far that's come into added on time.
It's more than 3 minutes into what is a ridiculous amount of added on time.
Shrewsbury 2, Wolves 2. And here's Bennett for Wolves. Wolves fancy winning it. They will not want a replay, will they, Wolves at Molineux? Here's Traore. Runs into Grant. Great challenge. Finds Worley. Worley for Town. Great run down the left-hand side, and he's fouled by Bennett. Shrewsbury free kick.
Sam Rickett's absolutely crestfallen in the technical area. Just put his hands to his mouth, couldn't quite believe it. And yeah, Wolves have dug themselves right out of a hole here.
Howard Amadi Holloway is going to come on as a very late sub here. Town free kick to be taken here by Haynes. Left-footed diagonal ball into the box. Beckles after the keeper. Ruddy juggles with it, and then he gets hold of it in a quick throw out from the goalkeeper. Welcome to Dab listeners to the Meadow. It's 2-2 in the FA Cup. Caballero down the left-hand side. Ball in. It's in front of Doherty, and it will be a... well, Worley will actually keep the ball in here on the left-hand side. Sean Worley for the Town. Good dribbling. Goes by Doherty. On he goes. Cuts in field, and he's taken down by Joe Martinho. And that's a Shrewsbury Town free kick. 10
That's
yards.
got to be a yellow card. Given what some of the Town players have been booked for. Refereeing by reputation a little bit here. Doherty's coming off for Amadi Holloway just to get a centre forward on. Town playing without a striker for the last 10 minutes. They're going to have one again. But we're running out of time now.
Doherty, excellent.
Yeah,
He'll be spoken about for many a year to come, that goal that gave Town the lead. Town 2, Wolves 2 here. Docherty and Waterfall gave Town a 2-0 lead. Jimenez and Doherty with a late equaliser. Free kick taken here by Haynes towards Amadi Holloway. Bennett clears for Wolves. Little touch from Jimenez. And now Doherty deep into stoppage time. Forward to Traore, who set up the equaliser. Loren to Waterfall. Gives it back to Loren. 2-2 in the FA Cup. Loren finds Beckles. Plays it out to Bolton. Infield now to Loren. Town keeping the ball. 2-2 here. Loren, terrific play, driving forward from halfway. Holds off Martinho. Wonderful ball to Worley. Can Town win it here? Stoppage time. Worley cuts inside, shoots. Big deflection. Flicked on, and Wolves scramble the ball away with Martinho. Ball up towards halfway. Still we play on. Deep into added on time. Beckles plays it back to Arnold. 9,503 the attendance. 2-2. And Wolves come forward, surely for the last time. Caballero down the left-hand side. Great challenge from Beckles. Beckles with the long ball forward. The fresh legs of Amadi Holloway give chase, having just come on, and a foul given against him, and it will be a Wolves free kick in the left-back position. They take it quickly towards Caballero, and it's all over. And it will be back to Molineux for an FA Cup fourth round replay. What a game!
Kelly Summers with Sam Ricketts for BBC. Sam, what an afternoon. What's the ultimate feeling after that? You were, of course, 2 goals up at one point.
It's real mixed emotions. I'm delighted with the performance. I base myself on performances, how my team performance. That was very, very good. And then I'm disappointed not to win the game. 2-1 up going into injury time. I expect to see the game out.
And there were 2 very good goals as well, particularly the first one. It was pretty spectacular, wasn't it?
Yeah, we played football today. We have to make the game hard and frustrating. We run and we tackle and we press. But the first goal was an excellent quality goal, from winning the ball back, breaking at pace, everything we work on, and a superb finish at the end of it.
I've also got to ask you for the second goal. It did look like there was a note given to Norburn. What did that say?
He said, put it in the box and let's score a goal. No, it is. I was just trying to do something a little bit different with the team. It wasn't actually about the goal, but I'll take it.
He's not going to tell us any secrets there. When Wolves were putting on those players of the quality, they obviously made 6 changes today, but it was still a very strong side. When you were seeing the likes of Raul Jimenez coming on, what was going through your mind at that point?
Just keep it the same. I was really pleased. I thought we were comfortable in the game. Yeah, we're going to have give chances away, and the keeper made an excellent save after 50, 60 minutes or so, but he's going to have to do that on the game. So I thought we were pretty comfortable, and then as the longer the game went on, like I say, it was just a disappointing last goal, but I was comfortable. Changes they made no real difference to the game, or didn't make any real difference to us. They moved the ball well. They're an excellent side. Let's not hide behind anything, and what I've said to the players is they should have a lot of belief after that.
Of course, Wolves are a club you know very well. Nuno is a man that you know very well. Did you have a chance to speak to him at the end? What did he say to you?
I just said, well done, I'll see you next Tuesday, or a week on Tuesday. Yeah, it's neither side probably wanted the replay as such, but we'll go there full of confidence, especially off the belief of today's game, and we'll have another go game. Same as Stoke in the last game. We drew here and then we went away and won, so don't write us off just yet.
There have been such big improvements under you. 2 wins now in your past 9, both coming in the Cup. How important is the Cup to Shrewsbury and to you?
I treat it as another game. It's another game which we would play opposition we wouldn't normally play against. It's another game to implement the ideas of what I want in the team. And the performance level for probably 90% of the time since I've been here has been improving and been very good. A couple of disappointments, odd times, half a game here, half a game there. But in general, the performance level and structure of the team is improving all the time, and that's what I really base myself on.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Good luck. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Pleasure.
Kelly Summers with Nuno Espirito Santo for BBC. Nuno, a dramatic finish there. What's your emotions after that one?
It was a good game. It was a very dramatic finish, like you said. I think the good effort in the part, the boys really give everything, and we were able to draw the game. But it was a very good game in a tough pitch against a well-organized team, and they fight. Each ball is important. So I think we started well, but in the beginning of the second half, we had a terrible mistake of the goal. That everything becomes harder and harder. But happy because I think the effort in the character in the end, we deserve this result.
I've got to ask you, what's going through your mind when your team were 2-0 down?
That we have to go back again. We have to bounce back, try to find solutions, taking players and trying to put some energy in the pitch. And it was good. Now we have the next one, the draw.
And Matt Docherty, of course, popped up with the header at the end. You do like leaving things late. You've scored a lot of late goals in the Premier League this season as well, haven't you? How much character does that show?
It shows character, but it's not because we want it or we enjoy it. It's because sometimes the games become like this, and it requires extra effort from everything, and believing till the end that the game can still give you things.
I've got to ask you what you thought of Shrewsbury, of course, managed by someone you know very well, Sam Ricketts. How impressed were you by them?
Well organised, and they fight. They are really competitive. So the next one is going to be very tough.
I was going to say, how are you feeling about the replay in a couple of weeks' time?
It's going to be tough, and the schedule is so tight that we have to manage well.
Perfect. Thanks. Thanks, Nuno.
Nice seeing you.
Thank you, and you. See you later.
As it is, Wolves fought back from 2 goals down, and so we'll have to do it all again at Molineux. A 4th round replay beckons for Sam Ricketts and Nuno Espirito Santo. Terrific entertainment at New Meadow, though. in front of a sellout crowd, full time. Shrewsbury 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2.
See you later.
Thank you very much.